I was told I was the creepy bald dude, or another creepy bald dude. That's what it was. Did a live on Instagram, right? Did a little reel or whatever. And some snowflake's like, oh, great, another creepy bald guy. It said something, I don't know. I guess that's why I'm wearing my hat. No, it's not why I'm wearing my hat. But it is time to do another show, and because of that, it's time to open another Bundy. And that thing just about exploded. Don't do that. At least it didn't fizz all over the place. Well, let's get this thing cranking, shall we? You just got a little bit of bonus content that's not going to be on the audio version of this podcast. So let's get crack-a-lackin'. What's up, everybody? This is Steve with the Range Minded Podcast, and, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, because that's how long it's been since I've done a show. I got sick. Every time this time of year, this is the end of the year, we're into December. Sometime between November and January, I always get sick, and it puts me out for a couple of days. Plus, everything else that's going on, obviously Thanksgiving and all the other crazy crap that's going on. Crap. I shouldn't say crap. It's Christmas time. That's not crap. I've actually been trying to focus more positively this time of year. Usually, for me, Christmas time is stressful because I got to worry about gifts and surprising the wife and kids and making bills and still getting presents. It always stresses me out. But this year, I'm trying to focus on not the commercial side of Christmas, but doing something for myself and for my family that helps us remember the purpose of Christmas, right? The birth of the Savior. I don't care if you're not Christian. I know this isn't a religious podcast. I'm religious. I'm a Christian, so you know what? That's I see things through the lens of a Christian. So that's what it is. Anyway, I just spent a long time talking about avoiding the commercialization of the season, and tonight in this Christmas special, we're talking about buying Christmas gifts, last-minute Christmas gifts. So take that for what it's worth. It is what it is, right? Is it okay if I hide behind my mic like this? For those that can't see me, I've got the little pop filter, and it's like covering 3/4 of my face, which probably isn't a bad thing because I'm just a creepy bald dude. All right, so I came up with a list of 15 things, okay, 15. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, I have to listen to this guy over 15 gifts. But I broke them down, okay? We broke them down a little bit. We went from gifts up to $20 or less. Then I went up to $100 gifts, and then everything over $100. And I know you're probably already guessing some of these numbers, or within those number criteria that, there's stuff that I'm going to talk about. But I'm going to talk about them anyway, so it's my show. I don't care. So let's jump right into it. First of all, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to the show. Hopefully I can keep this entertaining to where you're going to want to share the show with your friends. Please do. We're trying to grow the community, not only listeners of the podcast, but just the firearms community in general, right? We want the 2A community to grow. We need it to grow. If you follow me on Twitter at all, I have been on Twitter now. That's more exciting, but Elon Musk took over. So I spent more time on Twitter lately. And if you followed some of my threads or even some of my lives that I've done, I tend to be a little negative. That last show I did, or the last live I did, I don't remember what it was, I tend to get a little negative, okay? Because I'm so frustrated with what's going on with gun law. But there's so many more things to be positive for, so I'm going to be more positive. I've made that commitment. I want to be more excited about the wins, because it's honestly, there's these little wins that are happening step by step that we don't talk about much, that are making a bigger impact in the anti-gun community than what we think. There's a lot of, like the Oregon gun law that we talked about a few episodes ago, that is getting pushed and challenged and just dismantled bit by bit because of the Supreme Court and the Bruin decision, which is fantastic. And that Bruin decision is going to change the landscape of gun law for the positive, okay? And I need to be better about talking about that and less about the frustrating negative stuff, because when all you hear is negative things, that's all you're going to see. and it's hard to be excited. And building the community, we have to be excited. We have to show the positives. We have to talk about the positives. We have to show people how normal it is to own a firearm in this country, and how exciting it is to enjoy our Second Amendment rights, because it is a God-given right. Whether you want to see it that way or not, I believe the Constitution is a divinely written document, and owning a firearm is a right. Driving is a privilege, and it can be revoked at any time, but voting, free speech, religion, petitioning the government, freedom of assembly, all that stuff is a right. And we need to exercise our rights continuously, and we need to do it with vigor and excitement, and in brotherly love, or whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever, if you want to sound like a hippie when it comes to the Constitution, whatever it takes to be excited about our freedoms to grow the community. Anyway, back to the Christmas show. If this is your first time listening, you're gonna understand that I jump on tangents, and especially when we get Nick on. Man, he probably keeps me more in tow than not. I like to jump around. Apparently, I must be ADD, which I probably am, and I don't care because I'm not taking medication for it. It's who I am, and hopefully you can follow along. Have you guys ever seen ADD? This is another squirrel moment, right? Have you ever seen 12 Monkeys, right? 12 Monkeys with Brad Pitt. My son and I were talking about crazy movies to watch, and he was talking about some. I don't remember what they were. And I told him, I was like, dude, you got to watch 12 Monkeys, because it is so confusing until you watch the entire show, and then it makes sense in the end. That's kind of how my mind works. It doesn't make any sense until right at the end of the show, and then you're like, I just still don't understand what's going on. But at least he was another creepy bald dude. All right, let's start with the list. It is Christmas time. It is an opportunity to give gifts, buy gifts, whether that is for somebody else or for yourself. Remember, it's okay to buy gifts for yourself, especially if you're single or you live away from your family. It's okay to buy gifts for yourself. Even though you know what it is when you open it Christmas morning, at least you got a present and it's what you wanted, right? Anywho. All right, so let's start with the top 5 gifts that I came up with under $20. Okay? Now, I might mention where I found these things. A lot of them I found online. Maybe I'll mention the stores they come from. Maybe you'll just have to do the research yourself. But listen, you don't have a lot of time. Christmas, like as I'm recording, what is today, the 19th? Yep. Christmas is just a few days away. So you better get crack-a-lackin'. So if you have to order this, you might have to expedite shipping. But if you can go to a mom-and-pop store and support local companies, please do that first. Okay? Please do that first. All right. Let's start with gifts under $20. Okay? The very first one I came up with, and I thought this was a good idea, and hopefully you guys think is a good idea as well, earplugs. Right? The little foamy earplugs that go into ears, or maybe the rubber ones with the fins, which tend to block out a little bit better sometimes. Earplugs I found at a big box orange store where you buy a lot of materials sometimes for your projects. It's kind of like a big depot to find stuff. Earplugs. I found an 80 pair bag or bucket of earplugs. I can't remember what it was for sure, but it was under $9. Earplugs. Okay. Shooting is loud unless you can afford a suppressor, which I probably should put on the list. It's loud, right? And your ears, the hearing doesn't come back if you lose it, right? Once you start losing those little hairs that vibrate to the noise and the sound waves, once those things lay down and are gone, they're gone. It doesn't come back. Protect your hearing. Protect the hearing for those that go shooting. It's a cheap present, under $9. You get 80 pairs. That's a pretty good deal, I think. And it's a good, easy way. A lot of people don't even think about that when they're trying to find stocking stuffers or something. Good deal. 80 pair for under $9. Again, hearing, you lose it if you don't take care of it. Even if you do like the cochlear implant, it's still cheaper to buy lots of bags of 80 pair of EarPro. It's way cheaper than trying to do a cochlear implant for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So That's my very first gift under $20 that I found. Again, you might be able to find some cheaper, or maybe on the Jungle website, you might be able to find something there too. It might be worth looking. Okay, now this one might surprise you. Gift number 2 might surprise you. If you guys have followed me long enough, you know I don't just like to shoot, but I like to train, edged stuff, defensive stuff as well. And one of the best knives for the money that you can buy, and yeah, this is under $20, and it comes in very handy, is just a folding utility knife. You can buy the knife with blades from the same store that I was looking at those earplugs from, or maybe another, hardware store close to you. You can buy a knife with like 10 blades for like $8, $9. Still under $10 for sure. Now you might think, oh, that is a terrible defensive weapon, a defensive tool, life-saving tool. Let's use that instead. That's a terrible life-saving tool. Nay. If you've seen what a utility knife can do, you might be surprised. I tell you what, if you jump on Spartan Mode's website, find a seminar that he's doing next year that's close to you, take one of those seminars, and he does a demonstration of edged, a bunch of different styles and shapes of knives. Excuse me. You'd be surprised what a utility knife can do. I highly recommend it. The nice thing about a utility knife is it really doesn't raise a lot of red flags when you go somewhere. People just look at it and think, oh, that's just a utility knife. He must be a construction worker or something. I highly recommend it. It is a very good tool. And not even just an EDC or a life-saving device. They can throw it in the pickup. They can always use it somewhere. They're just handy to have around, not just in your tool bags or whatever. It's nice to just have one in your pocket, because then maybe you are carrying like a nice Benchmade or Spyderco or something, or whoever you're buying the gift for. I carry a Yojimbo, a Spyderco Yojimbo. That knife never cuts boxes or envelopes or anything open. That's not what it's for. But I also carry a utility knife. I don't care if that little blade gets stole, because I can switch it out. Again, a great tool for under $20. You could probably buy 2 or 3 for $20 or less. So think about it. That's a great tool and something outside the box that maybe you didn't think about. All right, number 3, the number 3 under $20 gift that I thought of, and I'm gonna drink my drink because I'm running a little thin here. This is great audio, just so you know. Again, I wish I could say this is the official drink of the Range Minded podcast. I love Bundaberg ginger beer. I'm not a drinker. I'm not an alcoholic, but by damn, that's a good drink. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, number 3 on the $20 or under. Okay, most ranges now. You know my story. If you've listened to the show long enough, you know I've run a couple of ranges in my life. Normally on an indoor range, you can buy a one-time range pass for under $20. Now that might be different in your neck of the woods, but normally, like the range here, the local range in Idaho Falls, or the range I ran in Boise, it was like $15 to $18 to come shoot on the range. It's a good deal. Most of the time, maybe some of the other ranges, I don't know what your local range does, but for us, it was at least an hour. If there was nobody in line waiting to get inside that booth to, waiting to use the range, you could shoot all day as long as, people weren't there waiting to get in. So that is another good deal that, somebody might really enjoy. Shooting inside is totally different than shooting outside. Maybe you have an outdoor range that has a better deal for a range visit, but it's an option, especially if you live, like today, for example. When I got in my pickup to start my truck this morning, it was like 6 below zero. It was cold, and it's going to be colder the closer we get to Christmas. Now, the nice thing about shooting inside is I don't care what the weather's like outside. It's always going to be whatever, 65 degrees, with a slight breeze from behind me blowing that range dust down range. So A range visit. Again, that is a great little stocking stuffer, and it should be under $20 in your area. All right, numero cuatro, right? That's Spanish. I should know. All right, number 4. So this is really dynamic, okay? And there are probably millions of options when it comes to this kind of gift. Shapes, sizes, colors. The sky's the limit. In fact, I just thought of another one I'm going to put under the $100 one. Or up to $100. We'll get there, all right? Focus, Steve. Targets. What a great gift to get somebody that you don't know. Maybe there's a shooter in your family. You just don't know what to get them. Targets. Now, depending on where you go online, so the guy I like to use is Freedom Targets. He's a guy out of Idaho Falls. I've drawn up several targets. He's developed some. In fact, if you buy from him, you will probably see some targets I've designed. They don't have my name on it or anything, and I'm not going to tell you which ones they are because it doesn't matter. But he's awesome. I think it's Freedom Targets. I'll have to dig out one of the ones I don't know where I put it. I had a bunch of them made. I haven't even used them yet. I made them like 2 years ago. They're awesome training targets. Freedom Targets, okay? Just jump on there. John, he's awesome. He does an amazing job. If you have an idea for a target and you can convince him and he feels like, yeah, that's a great target, he'll even draw some up for you. Yeah, it's a little bit more money, not $20, right? But you can find normally targets for, $2 a piece or something like that, the big paper ones. Now, you can go to a big box store and find them for much cheaper, like a pack of those shoot and see targets, which are awesome. There's lots of options for targets for under $20, and it's a great gift for that shooter in your family, or maybe you need some targets. Okay, now along with that, now I separated this, and a lot of people either don't see the need for this number 5 gift that I put down for under $20, or they or something, I guess. I don't know. This really could have gone along with the targets, would have fit right in, but I'm saying the number 5 gift for under $20 is target tape. Target tape. Now, you could use just the yellow masking tape, which is probably cheaper than buying a little target tape gun, which has little squares that, 1-inch squares or whatever, that you can just cover those holes on your target. The nice thing about target tape or masking tape, the white masking tape, is it extends. It extends the life of those targets, whether they're cardboard or paper. It is so much nicer to have a way to save a little bit of cash, save a little bit of target. I know sometimes those targets are dirt cheap, but you can still make that 50 cents to $2 go a little bit farther with just a roll of target tape. Now, you can find those on places like Brownells, or maybe Cheaper Than Dirt, which is not my favorite website. Or there's a ton of other websites where you can find target tape. Just Google target tape and you can find it. Or, like I say, jump on Brownells, brownells.com, and just type it in. You'll find it. I promise. You'll find it. It is a great gift. It is a great tool to have in your range bag. Target tape. All right, so those are just 5 of the under $20 gifts that I thought of right off the bat. Again, you want me to run through those? Maybe you're making a note. Let's follow down. Okay, 1, earplugs. Cheap foam earplugs. You can buy them, like in this case, like I said, an 80-pair pack for under $10. A utility knife, maybe with some extra blades. Cheap, effective, and a good tool to keep around. A range pass, a one-time range visit at an indoor range, hopefully one that's close to you. Targets. Sorry, I can't even read my own list on a big screen right in front of my face, just so you know. Targets and target tape. Those are the first 5 gifts for under $20. Okay, shall we move to the next tier of presents? We are, whether you want to or not, because, again, I'm the one doing the show. All right, so the next category is gifts up to $100. I'm going to have another drink because I can. You can hear the fizz in my mouth. Again, if you're wondering what that is, Bundaberg ginger beer. Somebody told me, I think Costco has it. It's not cheap. It's imported from Australia. I lived in Australia for a couple years, 20 plus years ago, and I got hooked on it then, and it is just a part of my life. So, squirrel moment. All right, gifts up to $100. Okay, the very first one, and maybe you would think of the same thing, ammunition. The reason why I didn't put this in the up to $20 category is because ammo's not cheap like it used to be. Maybe you can still find 22, but it would just be like 1 or maybe 2 boxes of 22 for the $20 mark. But, I was at one of the local sporting goods stores Saturday, so 3 days ago, 3 days, whatever. Ammo's come down a little bit, which is great, but it's not down to the levels that we were used to pre-pandemic. Okay, 9mm. Once in a while, you can find some good sales in some of the bigger stores or some of the more established ranges. You might be able to find a box of 50 for $12 or something now. I remember when you could get MagTech for like $8, $7, $5 a box. I wish I would have bought thousands of rounds back then, but you know what? Hindsight's 20/20. But I guarantee if you get that shooter in your life, a box of ammo or whatever you can, even up to $100, maybe you can buy, a 50 round pack or something, or sorry, 100 round or 250 round pack of 9mm, or maybe a multi-pack of 223, something like that. They're going to be grateful because that's a little less money they have to spend. Maybe they'll take you with them to go shooting. It's a great option, and that's why I put that as the number one gift for up to $100. And like I say, you can mix and match whatever you want. Great gift. I promise you. Like, I would love to get even a 20-round box of 5.56. I would love it, and I would never complain. All right. Now, I put this one in this category, but honestly, it can go way, way higher than this. Again, this is the number 2 option for up to $100. I put electronic ear pro. You can find good ear pro for electronic ear pro, right? The noise canceling electronic ear pro. I have a set of Peltors. I love my Peltor electronic ear pro. I love it more than the Walkers or any other brands that are out there, but there's a lot of people that really like Walker or some of the other brands as well. But I think you could be able to find some of those for $99 or less. There is some good quality ear pro, electronic ear pro, over the ear, not the earbud type, for around $100. You might be a little bit more than that, but I threw that in there as the number 2 gift for Christmas up to $100. Why would I suggest electronic ear pro while we're on the subject? Okay, the nice thing about electronic ears is in a class, especially as an instructor, I wish everybody in the class that I teach had electronic ear pro, because we could be having a conversation. Nobody has to take off their ears while we're talking. And it's fantastic. But the instant the noise reaches a certain decibel level, boom, it cuts off. And, whatever it is, 20 decibels or 19 decibel rating. Some of them have higher. Obviously, the more expensive you can get really expensive. Some of the military style Peltors, you're talking lots of dough. But I love my electronic ears. And I promise, if you get some for you for Christmas or get somebody for the shooter in your mind, in your life, I don't like that term. It sounds like negative. The gun lover, the Pro 2A person in your life, if you get them electronic ear pro, they are going to be grateful. And while you're at it, you might as well buy a pair for yourself, because it is a game changer if you haven't shot with electronic ears. All right. Along with the PPE, I wrote down good quality eye protection. Yeah, I know I could have thrown cheap, great, usable eye pro under the, up to $20. There is a ton of eye pro for under $20, a ton. And they're good quality glasses, right? Most of them are going to be like the ones you find at indoor ranges that rent them out to you. Just, $4 a pair or whatever. There's good quality stuff. Up to $20. You can honestly get a good, solid, nice looking pair of safety glasses for $20. Okay? But if you jump up to the next level, if you're willing to spend up to $100 on iPro, they're awesome glasses. They don't look goofy. You don't look like you're, cooking meth in your house at the same time. Good quality iPro, up to $100. Honestly, I do have some that were more than $100. Do they save my eyes any better? Probably not any better, but I sure look cool when I'm wearing them. And I know the gun lover in your life would love a good quality, expensive pair of iPro. The last good set I bought was from an eye doctor friend of mine. It's worth it. Yeah, they're expensive, but they're good quality lenses that you can replace, and they can buy different colors of lenses or whatever they want to do. And like I say, when they scratch, you don't just have to throw them away. You can buy good quality lenses, tinted or not tinted, switch them out. Awesome. Don't be scared to spend a little bit of money on iPro for you or the gun nut in your life. All right, number 4 on my up to $100 list is a good quality range bag. Now, I spent a few seconds researching for this show. I jumped on the Jungle website. Actually, you Googleized it on on the magic box here. I found a lot of awesome range bags for under $100. Some nice backpacks with the little pockets for certain handguns, or if you're more of the duffel bag type, there are some awesome bags. Now, I did find like an Eberly Stock, which is a Boise company. We love Eberly Stock here. Their range bag is a little bit more money, but it is awesome too. Now, it's going to be over $100. But you don't have to buy Eberly, which I would still steer you to if you're willing to spend the money. But there are some awesome range bags out there that have a lot of little options and little pockets and places to put targets and ammo and handgun sleeves or whatever. Great options out there for under $100. Honestly, there were a bunch up to $70, $80 that were pretty awesome. So once you jump up, like I think the GPS backpacks, they're around $100, maybe a little bit more now, honestly. But those are super rad, and I know you or the gun nut in your family would love to have a new range bag. Okay, something else I threw in the number 5 for up to $100 is something that we all need to be doing, because we all need. Every gun shooter lover person needs to have one of these, whether they use it or not. They have to have one of these. At least to say that they do have one anyways. They need a good quality cleaning kit. Okay? A good quality cleaning kit. Now, there's a couple ways. In fact, we talked about this in a show quite a while ago. I don't even know how long ago, but we did talk about gun cleaning kits. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can either buy like a tackle box and kind of piecemeal, part by part, and handpick the pieces that you want, which you'd have to know what kind of firearms or what kind of gun lube and gun cleaning stuff the gun nut in your life loves. Or you can just jump to a big pre-filled, preset, predetermined, whatever you want to call it, gun cleaning kit that's got a bunch of different brush sizes. Maybe you have the squeegee ones. I've got those what are they called? Just a sweep. It's like a rubber squeegee that you can pull down the barrel after you spray the foam, gun cleaning foam or CLP or whatever you got. You can just pull that little squeegee through the barrel and it cleans it pretty good. I mean, you still have to brush it, but you can buy a kit that's already pre-assembled with a bunch of various man, I cannot talk. I'm talking too fast, aren't I? With a bunch of different size of caliber of brushes and squeegees or whatever you want, jags or whatever, a bunch of different options. Just buy the pre-made kit, and then you're going to have that particular caliber size accounted for. But like I said, if you want to piece it together, maybe you just want to do certain kinds of gun lube or gun cleaning solutions, the good old-fashioned Hoppe's number 9. Maybe that's what they want. That's fine. You can just kind of bits and pieces together. That's cool too. But you should be able to find a quality kit for under $100 for the gun nut in your life. Okay. This takes us to our next 5. This is a little bit more money. So maybe if you're buying stuff for yourself, maybe you would fall under this category. Okay, this is $100 and up. Can't see my hand. That almost looked like a rude gesture. Glad you couldn't see that. $100 and up. Okay, this gets a little bit more tight. And I know this, money's hard right now. Money's tough to come by. It doesn't spend as good as it used to. It goes way quicker. We went grocery shopping on Saturday. Stupid. Eggs, man. Eggs. Can I just get on a soapbox and bitch about the price of eggs for a minute? What's up, chickens? Man, stop it. Lay more eggs. I miss the cheap price eggs. That's my soapbox moment. Okay, up to or over $100. Okay, $100 and up. My number one on this one, and maybe this will take a little bit of explaining. Maybe I need to slow down my talking, my speech patterns. I'm kind of like Ben Shapiro. I feel like I'm just blah, 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 and you guys don't understand a word I'm saying. Sorry, just listen to it at half speed, I guess. So the number one I put on this list is a good quality gunsmith tool set. So I know people might complain about Real Avid. When they first came out, their stuff was kind of chintzy, but they are getting way better. I think the quality of their product is going up. Okay, so they make they call it the Armor's Master Kit. It is $279. I found it on Brownells. It has got wrenches and roll pin punches and like all sorts of different stuff. It's their master kit. $279. It's got a ton of tools in it. Maybe you're a tinkerer. Maybe your gun nut is a tinkerer as well. It's got all the tools you need. Maybe you like to build an AR, or you want to build a Glock or a polymer style pistol. It's got all the tools you're going to need. Now, it doesn't have like a vise or anything like that in it. But as far as tools needed, it is a great quality set, and you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. Why would I suggest tools? Why not just take it to a gunsmith? Well, first, number one reason, if it's something I know that's simple that I can fix myself, and now maybe my skills are a little different than yours. So I have a nice sight press. I can, press out sights and put new sights in. I've taken some armorers classes, so I understand like the M&P series of handguns, the shields, and like I say, I'm not scared to work on Glocks. ARs are easy to work on. So my skill set might be a little bit different than yours, but I've also accumulated a pretty fair amount of tools where I can fix on stuff myself. Now, some of my older stuff, lever action stuff, revolvers, I don't want to touch those because I'm nervous about ruining something inside. So that kind of stuff I would send to a gunsmith. The downside right now with sending things to a gunsmith is most gunsmiths that I've ever talked to, they are just completely backed up with projects waiting to get done. Parts are a little bit harder to get to sometimes, so they might have stuff that's been waiting for months and months and months that they're trying to get to, so they're just backlogged with people that are going to be ahead of you with their problems. So if it's something simple that you can learn from a YouTube video, or maybe have a buddy come over to help you out, it might be worth just spending less than $300 and getting a good set of tools to where you can just kind of do some a little bit deeper than normal maintenance on stuff. Again, I found this one on Brownells, $279. I think that's a great deal for the Real Avid Master Armor's Kit, or Armor's Master Kit, whatever it is. You'll find it, okay? Okay, number two. Number two. Not that number two, but the number two on my list of gifts up to $100 is a range membership. Now, we talked about maybe giving them a one-time option at the range. If you spend a little bit more, sometimes you can get like a buy 3 and get 1 free thing at the range too. But why not get somebody a range membership? Most ranges have a tiered platform, silver, bronze, silver, gold, or whatever. Some of those memberships get expensive, and that's why they're $100 and over. But what an awesome gift right? Hopefully, if you get it for yourself or you get it for the gun nut in your life, they'll use it daily or weekly. That's the nice thing about a range membership, is they can go as often as they want, and it's not going to cost you or them any more money other than ammo and targets and that kind of stuff. But if, maybe you were able to get some targets for them too. A range membership is a great opportunity for you and for your loved one to go shooting all year long inside. Maybe, if you don't have an indoor range, maybe you can still go to the range outside and have a ton of fun. Okay, it's a great option. It's a great opportunity to expand your understanding of guns, your proficiency with firearms, and you're in a controlled environment, which is normally safe, right? Normally they have range officers that are helping to watch and keep things safe. At least in the ranges I ran, we had officers there all the time. Okay, all right, number 3, and we talk about this on the show nonstop, almost to nauseum, over and over and over again. And the reason why we talk about this third gift of $100 and up is because it is one of the most important things you can do as a gun owner, a gun carrier, as a steward of the Second Amendment. Okay, training. Buy somebody a class. I know a lot of times, especially in the new year or around this time of year, a lot of ranges or training academies, they'll have specials to where you might be able to get a couples class or something like that. You're getting a good class for a good deal. When it comes to education, there's a caveat here, okay? When it comes to education, talk to the ranges that you go to, talk to people at the ranges that you go to. Whether even if it's a gun store, talk to people at the gun store, both the salesman and people buying guns. Get to know where the good instructors are, because you can spend a lot of money on a class and get a shitty instructor and fear for your life the entire class. I've heard horror stories. Honestly, I've heard stories of top tier instructors, like famous people you see on YouTube that are terrible, unsafe instructors. But they look really good on YouTube. And I'm talking people with millions of followers. Talk to people. Get to know who they trust, who they recommend. Talk to the local law enforcement. Maybe they have somebody that they like to go to. There's tons of good, reputable instructors. Once you find that good, reputable instructor or academy, buy a class for you, buy a class for your loved one. That is a fantastic gift. My only encouragement, or not really a word of caution, is don't let it stop on that one class. Take one class, get another class. Let that be the beginning of your firearms journey. Even if you've been in the firearms community for 50 years and you've never taken a class, take a damn class. Take it. Okay? Don't buy a new gun. Take a class with a gun that you already own. Get proficient with it. Become better. Maybe it's a medical class, which honestly, I cannot push a good medical class. I would put that above going to a basic pistol class, honestly. A good medical class, because you'll use that. You're more likely to come across an accident where there's some kind of a casualty or whatever you want to call it, where you're going to need a stop the bleed class or tourniquet, understanding how to use a tourniquet or a chest seal or something like that. Start with your medical classes and then work your way up. Please, even if you're not planning on buying one for Christmas, get training, okay? That's why this is on there. Maybe it should have been number 1 on the $100 and up. Classes are important. This right here, not my hat, but what's inside my head and inside your head, your brain, your mind, is the most powerful life-saving tool that you have. Whether that's being proficient with a knife, a gun, or a tourniquet, you need to develop those skills. Okay? Soapbox moment. Okay, number 4 on the $100 and up. Now, don't spend $100 on this gift. If you plan on buying this gift, be prepared to be spending at least $200 on this and up to $600-$700. Okay, a pistol red dot. Why would I recommend a pistol red dot? Have you ever shot a red dot on a handgun? I have. I have a couple. It is fantastic. There's a reason why law enforcement is going towards red dots on their duty guns. There's a reason why government agencies that at least I know of are going to red dots on their duty guns in facilities. That's as far as I'm gonna go with that. There's a reason why they're going with red dots, and there's a reason why competitive shooters are shifting to red dots, and they're loving that division in competitive shooting. Okay, there's a reason for it, because your accuracy goes up, your proficiency goes up ish. Maybe not so much gun handling, but shots on target, that percentage goes way higher with a good quality red dot. There's a reason why I say be prepared to spend at least $200. Okay, don't go to some big box store and find one that, oh, this one's $89. It's a piece of shit. That's why it's $89. Okay, I don't care what the warranty is. We all know what Tommy Boy said about guarantees, right? It's a piece of junk. Don't buy it. Now, you can jump up and get the, like Vortex makes a great one. Honestly, Ride-On makes a great one. I have a Ride-On that I enjoy. I did used to do some stuff with Ride-On. I don't say that because I used to deal with Ride-On. I say that because I bought one and I enjoy it. It's a great little optic. Hollow Sun, that was the other one I thought of. Honestly, the Hollow Sun is awesome. It's awesome. And I think it's like $279, I want to say. I could be wrong. But you can go all the way up to like a Trijicon, which you're spending a ton of money. And they're great optic. Don't get me wrong. They're awesome. But any of those that you're going to spend almost $300 and up, they're all going to have real warranties that, like, no questions asked, they're going to take care of you. Right? They don't want bad product to where people are talking about how crappy the thing is they bought. They are going to take care of their customers. They stand behind their products. Don't skimp out on a red dot for you or the gun nut in your life. Okay? All right, number 5. This is the last one that I'm going to put on here, and my head itches. Maybe I'm going to take my hat off because it actually kind of hurts here. Hold on. When you got such a beautiful head, why cover it up with a hat? So this also comes with a caveat, number 5, okay? Now, there's a term that you've heard on this show before, and if you've bought a gun before, you're going to understand a prohibited person, okay? What is a prohibited person? Somebody with a felony, somebody that's beat up their old lady, right? They're convicted of a domestic, somebody that's been booted out of the military, somebody that's an illegal user of drugs, somebody that's been, committed insane, and there's a few other criteria, okay? Anytime you fill out a Form 4473, it's going to talk about what a prohibited person is. Why do I bring that up? Because I think buying a gun, especially for your spouse or a sibling, what an awesome gift. What an awesome gift. Now, if it's a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a good friend that's not related to you, directly related to you, just buy them a gift card so they can use that gift card to buy a gun. Yeah, that's legal. As long as they're buying the gun for themselves and they're not prohibited, they can do that. It's okay. Now, what should you expect on how much to spend on, or let's say you're going to buy a gift card for your girlfriend, okay? How much should you expect to pay? Okay, how much should you put on that gift card? So, a good quality gun, okay? There's lots of inexpensive firearms out there. There's some I wouldn't recommend. Okay, there's some that are right on the cusp of like I personally don't care for High Point. I know they have an awesome warranty. There's a reason why they have a warranty. Charter Arms, they're okay, kind of. Sky Pistol, they're actually getting better. Taurus, they're getting a little bit better. Honestly, Taurus makes an okay semi-auto I forgot what it was. Well, it'll come to me anyway. all those guns are going to be around $400 at the max, okay? Some of them are a little bit less, but there's a reason why they're usually inexpensive, okay? Are they a good introductory gun? Maybe, but you might even be able to find a used Glock or a used SIG or a used Smith & Wesson for what you would spend on a new Sky, okay? Do I own a Sky? I own some of those other ones. Okay, I really don't own some of those other ones. G2, the Taurus G2, right? They're okay. They're okay guns, okay? It's a good starter gun, sure. But maybe there's a used gun that you could spend the same amount or a little bit more and get a little bit better product. Excuse me. Now, if you want to just jump straight in, you could be spending $600. You could get them into a quality SIG, Glock, Smith & Wesson, the big, good quality name firearms out there. Yeah, guns are expensive. They're going to go up in price again. I have a sneaking hunch that we're going to have something to deal with here in 23 where guns are going to get, it's going to get stupid, right? I think we're going to have another rush here in 23. Different show. Be prepared to spend about $600. Let's just say that. That's a good all-around number. Buy them a $600 gift card. If you really feel like you have the Christmas spirit, give them a $1,000 gift card. Then they can buy a gun and some ammo and some other stuff to put on top of it. That'd be an awesome gift. Like, if you want to give me $1,000, I'm not going to say no. Just saying, Santa Claus could, well, I almost said something that would have sounded terrible. I was going to say Santa Claus can come down my chimney anytime, but let's just pretend I didn't say that. A gun is an awesome opportunity. Again, you got to be mindful that you're not committing a straw purchase, right? The ATF just changed the Form 4473, which talks about straw purchases and really hammers down on that. Don't buy a gun for somebody you know is ineligible of carrying or using that gun. Don't do it. Don't break the law. It's stupid. Okay? Don't do it. But if the person that you want to buy a gun for, again, if it's a close relative, a sibling or a parent or a spouse, you can buy them a gun if they're legally able to use, to possess one. If it's a friend or whatever, like I say, buy a gift card. Again, if you want to put $1,000 on a gift card, that would be rad. And I promise you, they will take you shooting because that's awesome. Okay? I forgot what I was going to put on there as a bonus. I guess it doesn't matter. Listen, I think another important thing, not an important thing, maybe a handgun isn't the option as far as a gun, right? Number 5 on that list. Maybe it's an AR. Maybe it's a bolt-action rifle. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's an AK. Maybe it's a pistol caliber carbine, right? There's tons of options. It doesn't have to be a handgun. It could be a lever action 22. How cool is that? Those are fun. They're fun to shoot. Oh, I remember what I was going to put on there, but it's a little different story. I'm going to put a bonus on there, okay? A number 6 on gifts over $100. And this one is specifically for you. Buy a suppressor. It's not going to be here by Christmas. Maybe next year. Buy a suppressor. Because once you get a can, now this is talking to somebody who doesn't have a can yet. But talking to, let's try that again. The reason why it'd be awesome to have a suppressor is A, it reduces recoil. B, it reduces sound. So it's nicer to shoot. It's quieter to shoot. It's just a muffler for your gun. You're not going to get movie quiet unless you have, spent a lot of money on a gun that got subsonic ammo. There's that's another show altogether again. We've talked about it before. But it's just a pleasure to shoot. It makes shooting so much nicer. And there are a lot of suppressors out there. A lot of good quality suppressors. Now, we've talked about what it takes to buy a suppressor. You got to go through the ATF. You got to do the NFA thing. So it's a $200 tax plus the price of your suppressor. The tax is due the moment that you submit your paperwork, so you got to fill out a credit card, or you send credit card info, or you send a check, plus photographs, plus fingerprints. It's an ordeal. It's a pain in the butt. It'd be fantastic if that got changed, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. But next year for Christmas, you'll have a suppressor that you can use and make shooting far more enjoyable. Ooh, goodness sakes. I get so excited I even wear myself out. Anyway, friends, there's the list. I gave you 15 items of something that you can get for Christmas for you or for the gun lover in your life, okay? So you want me to run through them again? Starting at the cheapest, working at the most expensive. Earplugs, remember? Cheap. Dirt cheap. Utility knife. Dirt cheap. A range visit. You're going to be about $20. Targets. Pretty inexpensive. And you can go find those at a range or at a big box store. Target tape. Cheap. And an awesome gift, I promise you. All right, ammo. Electronic Ear Pro. Good quality eye protection. You're spending a little bit of money on some cooler stuff just to be cool. A range bag, a cleaning kit, some good quality armors, tools. Doesn't have to be the real Avid that I was talking about. It could just be a good set of armors, tools. Maybe a range membership, some classes, get some good quality education. A pistol red dot, because why not? Or I guess you could put a caveat in there, or a little slash, an addendum. Could be a rifle scope too. Okay, could be. But you're going to be spending a little bit of cash on a good rifle scope. Or, obviously, a gun, because why not? And maybe just a giant gift card so they can buy the gun on their own time. Anyways, friends, I appreciate your time hanging out with me. If you thought maybe there's something else I should have put on that list, throw a comment in. I'm going to post this on YouTube here a little bit later. In fact, it might end up being on YouTube before it's actually available in the audio form. But I'll share some links in other places: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. There's a Twitter account now that I've been using. Like I said, it's under Range Minded Podcast. So there's lots of places you can comment, and there'll be some places on the audio version of this show under Anchor, or I don't think there's an option in Spotify, but we're on Spotify and other places too. So if you feel like you want to get in contact with me, or maybe you have some ideas for another show, you can email us at rangeminded@gmail.com, or you can find me on my personal socials, Impractical Tactical on Instagram, or same place on Facebook. And I think it's the same one on Twitter too. So anyway, appreciate you guys. Make sure you have a Merry Christmas. Don't be a Scrooge. Like I'm trying not to be a Scrooge this year. Don't be a Scrooge, okay? Don't be. And if you're struggling on what to give your friends for Christmas, how about you just take them shooting so they can enjoy the Second Amendment as much as the rest of us do. Guys, we love you. Be safe. And we're going to probably talk to you just before the new year. Anyway, be good. Take somebody shooting. Peace out.